So I wanted to do a video explaining the 3D holsters and how I'm doing them now. Um, I just updated the website. 3D holsters started at $2,500. They're average between 50 and 60 hours. And so far I've done 5 that I came up with something new about hiding the gun outline, which makes a huge difference if your holsters, the main reason is the art behind the holsters. So I don't think people have a clue how they're made. This holster's 4 layers. It's got the Stingray, the top layer, the 3D layer, and then of course the gun backer, and then the back. And what I'm doing now is holster start at $2,500. If you want the hidden gun outline, they're $3,000. If you want a Stingray and there's a background, something in there, that's another $500. And the reason why these are hard, once I do the artwork, the filler inside, then I have to have a backer for the Stingray to attach. This Stingray's the best I've ever seen, and I'm going to start doing more holsters with this. But the key to hiding the stitching is this. This is the part that goes against the gun, and then I still have to sew it here for the backer. Same here. And I discovered this. I've done 5 completed holsters with it, and then now I have basically every one I'm doing, the customer wants it with the gun outline hidden. The cringe thing for me is I have to bend this so far so I can actually sew it. And when you do all the time in the artwork and then you got to bend it all the way back to sew it, it's scary for me because I've already done all the artwork. But I wanted to explain that. This is where the gun outline will be. This is where the gun out, and then I have to, once that's all done, then I have to glue these parts down. They're averaging 60 hours a piece now. So something like this, if somebody wanted, would be $3,500. This one's for an Atlas Erebus with an SRO. But the top layer always has to be sewn. When I sew this, I'll sew it for where the belt slots are. And then also I trim it down. Otherwise this would be really thick trying to get your belt through. So I trim it out and then lay it down. This one's coming out really cool. And then another one that I'm working on that also hidden stitching is the bear one. And this one, you can see it's 3 top layers, the 1 bottom layer. And if I didn't hide the stitching would go right through his arm, right through his face, and up to the top. And this way, the artwork is king. Once the holster's finished, the main thing you're going to see is the artwork and not the sewing for the gun. And like I said, the top layer always has to be sewn to attach the top layer. These ones also, when I hide the stitching, it has to be sewn here and sewn on top. That's what holds this to the gun part. This one's for Staccato P with an SRO. This one is for a Terran Tactical Pit Viper, no optics. And this is a blue Stingray. I have to put the base paint on it before I harden it. And then after I paint them again. They get painted twice. Before I clear them and after. And like I said, the top layer has to be on top. The one thing about the Stingray is it will not stick to the top layer. I have to have a backer in place to line everything up. That's why the Stingray is a lot harder to do. And then another one I'm working on is this one. I forget what this one is for. I think it's for the XC. I have it written down. And this one's going to Poland. But you can see there's no stitching. The gun outline would go right through the Dragon. You can see this one's already sewn. No, this is for Terran Tactical. And it's going to be gold with the blue pearl. And I have another blue pearl I'm going to put on top of it. But I have to paint them before I clear them. If I clear it before I paint it, the leather's so much harder to cover. So these, I put a base on it. And then this thing is the hardest mag pouch I've ever made. You can see the layers. There's 5 layers just for the Stingray to stick. Like I said, it doesn't stick to the top coat, so I have to put a backer on it. But this is to match the Alien Largo one that I did. But these are really involved. Like I said, now they're 60 hours. So from now on, the 3D prices, they're $2,500 starting with the standard gun stitching. If you want the hidden stitching, they're $3,000. If you want Stingray in it, because the Stingray has to have a backer and adds more to it. Makes them a lot harder with the Stingray, but there's nothing else that looks like it. But I thought I would explain what's going on, because people don't have a clue what gets involved in these things. There's as much in the artwork building it, but then also there's as much in machining it and building it with all the different layers, and then the comfort, so they're not, super thick on the end. But they're really involved holsters. And like I said, they start at 25 and go up from there. And the 25 pretty much will cover most things with art-wise, but then when you get involved with the different layers or you want accent pieces, then they go up more from there. All right, I hope this kind of tells you what goes on in them, but they're really involved, and I think right now I'm doing 13 3D holsters. I like the fact that they're going around the world. To me, that means a lot. So, all right. Thanks. Take care. And please like and subscribe. Nobody does that anymore. I'd like to know that people have questions or look at it or comments or something. All right. Thanks. Bye.